Hey there, Larato here. Welcome to my channel. I know you cannot see my face, but I am here. So, if you know me, you know one of the things I like to talk about is mindset. Mindset, the things we think about, the things we talk about, but especially the things that we talk about or think about when it comes to ourselves and the people around us. So, I'm going to be doing what we call the rice experiment. I'm going to basically be taking some old rice. This is some rice, just some leftover rice that I'm going to be using. And I'm going to be putting it into these different jars. And we are going to do the experiment for 30 days to see how does the rice react when it comes to the human emotions and the words that I'm going to be saying to these different jars. So as you can see, this is just empty jars. Just empty jars. And in each jar, I'm going to put some rice. As I said, some leftover rice, and it's cooked rice. So it's the same rice from the same container. Put there. And let's put some in here. And some in there. Excuse the mess. There you go. Let's just put a bit more in there. Okay. So that's our jars filled with some rice. Maybe just a little bit more. Okay. Excuse the mess. The jars are cleaned. I've cleaned them. And now I'm going to cover each of the jars. Okay, so there's my jars of rice. They're all the same. They come from the same container of rice. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I am going to name each jar. This jar, I'm going to write love. Love. And then on this one, I'm going to write hate. And then on this one, I'm going to write, oh, my pen, ignore. Okay, that's supposed to be ignore. It's supposed to be ignore, but you can see. All right, my pen is not so lekker. So my different jars, this one is love, this one is hate. So what I'm going to be doing is every day for the next 30 days, I'm going to be giving this rice some love. I'm going to be giving it love in terms of giving it love and emotions, talking love towards it, like I love you, you're great, you're awesome, everything that's great. I'm just going to say all the great emotions and all the love, you're beautiful, everything that's got to do with love to this jar. And then this jar, I'm going to be giving it some hate. So I hate you, you're terrible, you're stupid, I don't want to see you, I wish you could go away. All the horrible stuff I'm going to say to this jar. And then this jar that's supposed to be ignore, I'm going to ignore it. I'm not going to say anything to this jar. And I'm going to do this for the next 30 days. And I'm going to see how the rice turns out. Because what we're testing here is human emotions and the words that we talk or that we say to the things that are living. The rice is living. It's living, guys. And this is just a test. It's been done before. So I'm going to do it so we can test it and see that and just prove that human emotions and the words that we say to each other actually matters. That we say to each other and that we say to other people. So yeah, let's see how this goes, and I'm gonna update you after every week. So a month would be what? 4 weeks. So after every week, I'm going to take my jars. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put my jars in a cupboard and I'm going to keep them there. And every day I'm just going to come out and say the different words as I explained. So the date is the 22nd of August. So we will check 30 days after. Hey. So it is about a week after we've done our jars. It's the 29th of August. And we're going to have a look at our 3 jars and see where we're at. Remember, we've got love, hate, and ignore. So if we look at the love jar, just turn it around. And you can see that the rice still looks quite okay. Still looks quite good. This is our love jar. Oopsie. Okay. And then we look at our hate jar. And you can see there's a bit of mold there that's starting. And there's also a little bit of rot. It's gone, the color is gone a little bit of reddish. You can see there that it's starting to go a bit off. There you can see. That's our hate jar and our ignore jar. Ugh. You can see that shame being ignored. It's definitely going moldy and ugly and yucky. So that's what happens if you ignore people. Now, this is amazing results, guys, and this is just about a week after. And we can already see the difference between our jars. That the love one is still looking quite good, and the hate one is looking quite moldy, and the ignore one is also looking quite moldy. So we're gonna carry on for another, I think it's 2 more weeks, and see where we end up. The 13th of September, and we are on our last week of the rice challenge, or checking out what human emotions and human words do to your things, whether it's, well, in this particular case it's rice, but whether it's your people, your kids, your spouse, your friends. What happens when you speak or think love or hate, or just totally ignore them? And we've been doing this with the rice, and you can see now with the love rice. This is the love rice, love, and you can totally see that this rice still looks good. Nothing wrong with it. It still looks perfect, just like the day we put it into the jar. And this is love. And the second one is hate. So this is where I was spilling all the hate, telling it I hate it and everything. And you can see there is some discoloration there. It looks orangey. Look at the bottom. You can see there's a little bit of rot there and there. There's some rot, if you can see up close. So this was what happens if you give hate. It's starting to rot. You can see it's looking not so lekker, not as white as that one. And then the worst thing you could ever do, from what this challenge says, is you could ignore somebody or ignore your things. We can see here, this is our ignore jar, and you can see like it's going all the wrong colors. And remember, all 3 of these came from the same bowl of rice, but they performed differently depending on what we were giving it. Love still looks great. Hate has a bit of discoloring, starting to rot. You can see there's rot. And ignore is just ugh, terrible. It's bad. So be careful of the things you say to yourself. Be careful of the things you say to your people, your children, your spouse, your friends, your family. Be careful of the emotions. Sometimes we think things are not alive, but this is rice, and it's obviously alive. And depending on how we've been treating it for the whole month, this is how the rice turned out. So we know that this experiment works. And so if this happens to rice, what's happening to you? What's happening to your family? What's happening to your friends and everybody that surrounds you? All the things we say are going to manifest.